Okay, I wanted to add a bit of insight to the first 3 units of this course on the CIA triad and encryption. So, um, looking at your material, I thought it was a little deficient on the idea that CIA is a balance. When you impact one of the triad, it results in having a impact in the other. So let's talk about an example of this. Let's say you encrypt all the traffic on your network. Your confidentiality would increase, your integrity would increase because people couldn't intercept and change your packet and forward them. However, because you added encryption, you need a key to access your network traffic now, so the availability decreases. Okay, let's say you're in a small business like a medical office, and for convenience they want to add wireless networking to their waiting room. So you add a wireless router to your network. In that case, the confidentiality of your network decreases because you add another possible way that people could get to your network. Your integrity decreases because with that new way of getting to your network, your data could be messed with. But your availability increases. So again, CIA is a trade-off. You can also apply this to the physical security world. Let's say you add perimeter fencing. Again, your confidentiality would increase because people wouldn't be able to break in as much. Your integrity of your data would increase because they wouldn't be able to, put bad data in your data. But your availability decreases because now people have a control that they have to deal with to get to your site. So all security controls impact CIA, but usually it's not a simple, students think, oh, you can increase all of them. That's really, where security controls come in, is, decreasing the impact of other security controls, so like with encryption, or like with wireless networking is a good example. You'll have to put other controls in to minimize these losses to confidentiality or to integrity. So, okay, so unit 2, we're talking about symmetrical encryption. Just a couple of things I have to say about that. You can look at symmetrical encryption as like, your like AES, manipulates the data through permutations, and that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is like you're adding a key. So it's pretty easy to visualize this, whether it's permutations or adding a key. To decrypt it, you just reverse the permutations, or you subtract the key. If you think of your encrypted ciphertext as a total, you add something to it, and then when you subtract the same amount, you're left with the original amount, right? Pretty easy. When you just do a simple substitution, it's always subject to frequency analysis, and all alphabets and all languages have some letters that occur more frequently, in which case in English it's E. So if you have a simple substitution cipher and you have enough text, you can say, okay, this particular character appears more than the other, so it's an E, and then work your way through it like that. Strongest encryption ever, besides quantum encryption, would be one-time pad. And one-time pad is sort of like, for Christmas or at the beginning of the year, a lot of people get the calendars one day You know, like January 2nd, you tear it off, January 3rd. Well, imagine two of those that are identical, but instead of having the date, they have a huge key. You know, the key's longer than the message will ever be. So you give the person you want to exchange secure messages with an identical pad, then you put them on their secret nuclear submarine. First message, you guys use the first key, whoosh, tear it up. Second message you exchange, you're using that second key, and so on. Now, that's the most secure because you know that key is generated randomly, and it's the most secure and hardest to break. Totally not subject to frequency analysis because it's not a simple substitution. But the problem with symmetrical encryption is key exchange. How do you securely get that one-time pad to your submarine captain? You know, maybe somebody will jump him on the way, you know, when you put your delivery person down there, maybe somebody will jump him and substitute another one-time pad and they'll have yours. You know, key exchange is always a problem with symmetrical encryption, and that's the problem that's actually solved by asymmetrical encryption. With asymmetrical encryption, this is how encryption is done with transport layer security on the web. So when you have a secure session on the web, and almost all web servers are moving to this, but you use asymmetrical encryption to exchange a symmetrical key that's used throughout the communication session. So you're really taking advantages of the strengths of both. But what are some other things you could say about asymmetrical? Did I misspell it here? Yeah. What are some other things you could say about asymmetrical encryption? It's a one-way function, trapdoor type arrangement. Now it's hard to, you know, in your mind think of a mathematical function because remember we're dealing with numbers here that can't be reversed. But a great example of one is a product of large primes. If you take two large prime, of course, thinking back to your elementary education, is a number that can only be divided by 1 and itself. Then you find a large prime and multiply it by another large prime. It's very hard to factor that. I don't know if you recall factoring in primary school. They probably don't do it now. I don't know. But there's no easy way to do it. And so if you base a key on that, then you can't reverse it. Basically irreversible. Another way to think about asymmetrical encryption is you have the key, but you can send the padlock. You don't care who has the padlock, right? You can send out the padlock to everyone as long as you have the key and you're the only person that has the key. Now, other people will be able to use a padlock to lock things, but they won't be able to unlock them. So they can use your public portion of your key to encrypt things, but they won't be able to decrypt them. And so it's the same thing, kind of. Okay, thanks for watching, and hope this explains some concepts to you.